Hello and welcome back to jimmurphymp.com, a way of keeping in touch with local and national news. And this week I'm indoors because of the thunder and lightning outside. The big local news is that the details of next week's demonstration are now confirmed. 2 o'clock at Mearns Primary School on the 4th of September. Hope we don't get weather like this, but join up with all the local campaign groups, Mums Against the Incinerator and the Loganswell campaigners, and trying to make sure it's an enjoyable day with a serious message. We've invited speakers from all the other political parties, and so hopefully you can come along, walk along your road and show your opposition. Now, my appeal to you really is, if you're against the proposal for an incinerator, don't leave it up to someone else to protest on your behalf. This is a big opportunity to have your voice heard. Wider than that, of course, the big event across the world is Libya, and the kind of remarkable kind of bravery of almost a civilian army taking on Gaddafi and his henchmen. And as I record this message, it hasn't yet been found. There's £1 million reward for his capture or his killing. Now that Britain's been involved in the way that we have in the military sense, I think it's important that others also now help to rebuild that country. It has been a success for NATO, longer than most people thought it would take, but it has now happened. And it's important that all NATO members now and others get involved in helping to build a sustainable peace in that country and ensure there's a degree of democracy in that nation that's been scarred for all those decades. Too few countries from NATO participated in the military campaign. There can be no excuse for all of those countries now not participating in rebuilding that country and supporting that country economically and through aid. News last night, just lastly, on football. A city that's given the English Premiership 7 Premier League managers now doesn't have a club in Europe by the end of August. Scotland as a country, as we all know, doesn't have a club in Europe by the end of August. It's a shambolic state of affairs. No one could ever have expected that this was likely to happen. And there is a real feel-bad factor. I've reflected on this before at the start of the season. The start of the season almost sneaked up on everyone, and a kind of sense of real feel-bad feeling about it, and it's just got worse. And this, the kind of day after, the night before, it's kind of not any brighter. So the danger here will be that folk who have got a passing interest in football or a passion for football use these kind of serial failures as a reason to just rehearse their old arguments. I don't pretend to have all the answers about this, but we can't continue to meander as a game in the way that we are. So one of the options would be the Carling Cup in England and the respective league cups we have north and south of the border. Could we look at merging those two so that the Scottish clubs get a chance to play against some of the kind of higher quality teams, because the current league structure just is not working. And you have the managers of Norwich and Queen's Park Rangers, kind of Neil Warner, Paul Lambert, saying they're not even that perturbed about being knocked out of the Carling Cup. So it's a competition that's lost the kudos. In England, our own competition, in Scotland is the third prize in our game. And I just wonder whether in time to come we couldn't merge those two competitions and have a British Cup for league teams, and that would refresh our league. It would give fans some more greater interest. It wouldn't just be the old firm that would be in it, and it would give the entire SPL and perhaps others a chance to compete against other teams, learning new tactics, new skills, and just a chance to kind of get back to some of the practices, some of the achievements and the victories of the past. When you compare the teams that Scottish clubs have beaten over the years, the Barcelonas and others, and then compare that Celtic and Rangers lose to Swiss and Slovenian teams, and notwithstanding Hearts' second leg performance, the humiliation at Tynecastle last week of 5-0, there's clearly something very wrong with our club game at a time when there's little flickers of optimism about our national game, the national team. I think Henry McLeish's report, we need to get again a look at that and see if it contains all of the answers. But I think we need now to think afresh, because we can't tolerate this happening again to all of our major clubs. That's all for now. Sorry to end a wee bit of a downbeat note there, but I think it is really important that we don't allow this to be repeated. All the best. Cheers. Bye bye.